heard of Philip Kotler before? Philip Kotler, they call it the father of marketing. Some people consider him to be, one of those pioneer people in marketing. And, his book, has been the most successful, book that all the people have been using in all of the marketing discipline. And, there are some very good known authors in many disciplines. But in marketing, Kotler has done a very extensive work and is a well-known reference. And in this book, this is the co-author, Kevin Keller. So in this class, in this chapter, talks about defining marketing for the 21st century. And in the discussion questions is why marketing is important.
Because if we don't have a marketing, we don't have the product.
You don't have marketing, you don't have, how will people know about your product? Or service.
It's like the link between the customer.
That's the link to reach the customer.
You don't create the want and the need that the customer.
You don't understand what people need. Therefore, how can you prepare what they want? It's a tool to sell more.
Some kind of communication between.
It's a communication. How can you communicate with the customer? They're what?
What it's like, how would you, it's like an apple polisher, how would you?
Yeah, how you polish your product. The marketing people, they polish the product.
It's like a deceiving way, but in a satisfying.
Yeah, this is another debate question. Is marketing deceiving?
Yes.
It is.
How many people say marketing is deceiving?
Sometimes.
Wow, that's a big, not a positive perception. Sometimes marketing people may be deceiving.
Sometimes.
See, in this class, we'll talk about that. It's important not to deceive. Because good marketing is when you have what we discussed later, which is this, managing the relationship between you and your customer. And it's important that you have good marketing activities that can provide honest description of the product, how you good manage customer expectations, and how that can return customers so customers are happy. You guys remember happy customer, happy business?
Yes.
The idea. The scope of marketing. What is the scope of marketing?
The targeted area, sir, that I'd like to market on.
Yeah, scope of marketing is, in marketing, what do you really want to achieve with it? So, your scope with marketing is, let's say, you want to make sure that you have got a good product for the customer. If you take Apple, Apple has been a very good example for marketing. You just can't avoid Apple in the marketing because people love Apple, right? And the more successful they are, it just give you an indication that they must be doing something right. And one of the things that they must be doing right in marketing would be, they have a good product that people need, right? They've been able to, to come up with a product that is relevant. People love their products. People, trust their name. People trust their sign. And same thing can also apply to Samsung. Some people are Samsung people and they believe Android is better. Why Android is better is probably they're doing something right. They're giving value to the customer. People would like to get their products in. What are some of the fundamental marketing concepts?
4 Bs.
The 4 Ps has been one of the commonly referred to as, a part of the marketing. In the marketing concepts, we'll look into several concepts that addresses marketing and how different managers look at marketing from different perspectives. How has marketing management changed in recent years? We'll talk about some history. And what are the tasks necessary for successful marketing management? So marketing, we're talking about demand. If you think about, if you have this, anyone have done a marketing campaign before? Yeah, what did you do a marketing campaign?
On Facebook.
Yeah, you go on Facebook and you market what?
Service.
What service?
E-commerce.
E-commerce. So you go there and you try to tell them, hey people, if you want e-commerce, you come over here on Facebook. So you're trying to create demand, right? Which makes a job for you. Yusuf, would you like to tell us? Did you raise your hand?
Yeah, I did.
Would you like to share what you did?
I have small factory, which is aluminum doors and doors. I did the same thing with Facebook, just to create demand, and I keep asking my friends to share, to speak about it, and then I have
Yeah, then you have work, right? And then you've got customers, and then people they want to get aluminum windows, they come to you, right?
Yes.
All right, great. Anyone else have done any marketing before? No?
I was in indirect way. With the Bumpers marketing campaign, you can see Bumpers everywhere in the
Yeah, did you see Pampers this stretch?
Yes. Because I'm working with them, but I'm in the food department, but I was indirect way with them.
Okay, so there's a big campaign now. Pampers, they want to promote, buy this Pampers for your kids.
I did the
She was
campaign,
also
but
in
as a
the
marketing
mobile.
project.
You on mobile?
Saad, I was in the phone.
Ah, صح. Oh, I
No,
forgot.
but got it. You're popular.
Thank you for reminding me.
What was
Do
the
you
phone?
remember Hatifi?
Hatifi?
I was the girl in the...
Oh, so we've got a celebrity here.
She's all over the city.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, you see, what you got?
They did a big campaign, and then when we went to them, we did new line. They said we don't have new lines, and I don't know why they do this big campaign. Why they ask people just to come and.
She was only part of the campaign, not in charge.
Yeah.
Marketing is the activity set of institutions, processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging efforts that have value for customers, clients, partners, society at large. Do you guys see this big definition? It's like a broad definition. It says, marketing is all of the people who work to make all the people successful. Do you see? So as long as our society produce, buy, sell, produce, buy, sell, and it goes on a circle, we're doing good marketing. If we don't have good marketing, people don't buy, people don't demand, people don't sell, people don't get jobs. Do you see? So that's an important part of marketing, is that it gets the whole society at large working, customers, clients, partners, society at large.
We can even say, sir, that if no marketing,
If you have a good product and you don't market it well, no one knows about it. Let's say you don't do good communication, you don't price it well, so no one think the price is reasonable. It's not available, then it becomes very difficult for the company to survive. Now in this, we look at the marketing management. It's the art and science of choosing target markets, getting, keeping, growing customers through creating, delivering, and communicating superior customer value. So what is marketing management? It's an art and science. Do you guys know what we mean by art and science? Art is that you need to be creative, right? You need to come up with something. Come up with a new idea, okay? And then it's a science because there are some steps, there are some processes, there are some calculations, there's some methodology formulation that can help you achieve your objective. Exactly. So what is marketed? You can market people, okay, like celebrities. You can market goods like a TV. You can market a service like a dentist service maybe, or a doctor service. Maybe a place. I love New York. You see, this is like, what is city is this? Las Vegas maybe? They market places, market an experience. You see, like you go to, Fun City. It's an experience, right? Try to market it. Events. Anyone have attended one of our events in LIU?
TEDx.
Yeah, we've got TEDx. By the way, if you're interested, we will have a TEDx, not this Thursday, the following Thursday. But it will be what time they do it? 3 to 5? Yeah, it will be 3 to 5. So I don't know, maybe you can come early, attend 3 to 4:30. Or maybe if more people are here, we can start at 5 on that Thursday. Properties, house, building, apartments. Organizations, maybe UNDP, Yemen LNG. Information, just information. There are some, we'll talk about Google, which is an information company. And also ideas. All of these can be marketed. Who markets? You need to have marketers. What do marketers do? They want to find prospects. These people will, you want them to respond. By attention, by a purchase, by a donation, by a vote. You want to market an idea so people vote for it. Types of demand. What do people demand? there are things that people have a negative demand for. For example, some people, they don't like the pain of their teeth. Then they go to the doctors, demand services, and it's a negative demand. There is, there's a demand for gambling. This unwholesome. It's just this, this holistic idea that maybe you will win. People want to win. You see, many times you see marketing, they use this when they tell you can win something. And then people go demand. They tell you if you buy this, you may win. And that becomes a demand. There are idea of demand that declines. There are things that over time people buy less of. If you start to, and this is an advice, next time you go shopping, watch out, these are things you buy more of, things you buy less of. What are what are increasing demands, what declining demands. There are some irregular demands, which is, suddenly you buy a Pepsi. Some people they drink Pepsi every day. Some people they used to, but not anymore. So those are also important for you to understand as a marketing, is how this demand works and what is needed. We also have got non-existing demand. For example, anyone is demanding a life insurance. Anyone wants to buy a life insurance. It's a demand doesn't exist. But people, they have to come to explain to you and convince you that you will die. And if you die, what happens to your kids? And you see, so it's a demand doesn't exist, you need to. There are something called latent demand that comes afterwards. Full demand, you want it full. Over full, people demand more than they actually need. These concepts are important for you to understand about your product or service. And for your projects, you will need to start to think about what projects you want to do. And I told you, this is the project. Idea, product, service, experience. From what we discussed, you will do the marketing plan for it. Okay? So in your marketing plan, you will say, we're going to, let's say, if I choose an example, let's see from last time, we had someone who worked in real estate. So he basically made a marketing plan for a real estate company. So he says, this is my product, which is apartments. This is the size of apartments. We've got 2 apartments. Those we will sell them to this target segment, and we're selling them for this price. We're going to do this advertising. This is how much it will cost us. We're going to make it available in these locations and so on. Okay. And so, it's while you do that, you consider these topics. This is how the market works. Anyone have seen this graph before? This is a market. Here a government market. Here we have customer. Here we have producer. So these people make stuff. These people buy stuff. Now these people, they work in some resource markets. They get money, salaries. And then what do you do with your salary? You take your money, you go to an intermediary market. So you go to the supermarket. And then inside the supermarket, you buy the stuff and goods and services that come. Where does it come from? It comes from the manufacturer, in exchange for money. Okay, so you take the goods and you give them money. So you can see money comes from here to the supermarket. Supermarket take it to the manufacturer. Supermarket take the money, give it back, as the resource markets. Let's say to their workers. You see, and then the workers, companies will pay salaries. So this money here is price of products. Here price of wholesale. Here it is more salaries. Okay, and then here the resources go around on the other direction. Goods and services to the customer. The customer, take these probably work in some company, make with the resources, in a manufacturing facility that can generate resources that go to the intermediaries. And then we've got the government in the middle. And government, what do they get? Taxes. They tax from everyone, and they provide back services and subsidies and so on. So this is kind of how the market works. Does this make sense to you? Are you guys okay with this? Do you understand all of this? This really comes from economics, right? Now, in economics, they still believe that, tomatoes and potatoes, and we exchange them. And in marketing, the idea is, how can we make sure that we satisfy customer needs? How can we make sure that people get what they want? How can we get people to want things that they didn't think about? Simple marketing system. In a marketing system, we've got a market and an industry, money, exchange for goods and products, and then we also have communication, which is what the industry will talk to the market and talk to the buyers. So if you're a seller, you have to communicate with a buyer. And if you're a buyer, you get the information from a seller. And here it talks about key customer markets. We've got global markets. You guys know what's a global market? It's international. Consumer market is everything that you and I will buy. Government market, that's things only the government buys. Let's say the government buy, the field for roads. Only the government buys them, no one individual. And business markets, that is used for the production of other products. Are you guys okay with these 4 definitions? We're talking about marketplace. You guys know what's a marketplace? A new store?
Place to
Yeah, meta market, these are like bigger. Okay? And market space, it can be online. It's a market space. Okay? You guys understand the difference between market space and a marketplace? Place is you go to a mall. Space, you go on an internet. And then a meta market would be something like, let's say, a stock market. You buy and sell securities. Okay? It would be a meta. You don't really buy anything. It's more of... we've got here core marketing concepts. These are the core marketing concepts. The need, want, demand. Okay? People have a need. Let's say you need food. You need water. How many people need food now? How many people need a break now? Oh, not. I thought everyone will raise their hand. If that's, Now, this is the difference. If you need food, that's a need. But if you want a break, that's in your mind. Do you see? That's what you hope that you will get. That's a want. And then if you've got money or purchasing power, it becomes a demand. Do you see? So, offering brands. You want to take a break now? Break.
We still have 5 minutes and then we'll have...
We'll take 5 more minutes and then we finish. Okay.
Then
We've got this offering and brands. We've got those 1, 2. For example, you want water. You've got all of these offerings. Are there any differences between these? Just the bottles, right? But at the same time, there are brands. Now, is a brand an important component?
Yes.
A brand is making a lot. Does anyone cares between taking water that is Ch1 or Ma'in? How many people care? Wow. How many people don't care? Whether it is Jabal Sha'ban or Ch1, it's okay, the same thing. Water is water.
Like what you said,
Okay.
in the mind.
The ship. There is Aquafina and there is everything else. I'll take Aquafina.
Ah.
But if there is only Ch1 and Hadda, maybe I'll take anyone.
You see, so the idea is that brand matters. See, from a marketing perspective, brand do matter, right? Target markets. When you talk about target markets, you're talking about a lot of customers, and then this is your target market. And positioning is where you are in people's mind. So if I tell you, what do you think? What's the best water? What's the best water? The Ch1 has got this position in your mind. It's the best. Do you see? And what's the worst type of water?
Anything else?
I think Al-Baraka.
Al-Baraka. Anyone have tried Al-Baraka?
Actually, they're more
Do you see? So the idea of positioning is where it falls in people's mind. Now, of course, for some people, they absolutely have no problem. Baraka or Ch1 are the same thing. But there is a positioning. Ch1, they position themselves. We're at top. And they remind people that we're top. And they want to have this position that's at the top. Do you see? Even though some people don't believe, it's just in people's mind. Do you see? And then we've got the idea of segmentation. Anyone doesn't know what is segmentation? The idea of segmentation is that you need, if I'm selling, let's say if I'm selling other than water, who would like to give us an example of a product that they're interested in?
Coca-Cola and Pepsi.
Coca-Cola and Pepsi.
Segmentation is grouping.
Yes.
Yeah,
Different
w-
categories.
Targeting.
Like
Yeah, give me.
car-
We need an
car
example
com-
company.
Car companies.
Yeah, for
Segment
cars.
their customers to different classes, so they would set like a Yaris and then a Land Cruiser for those guys.
Yeah, they have the Land Cruiser, and then this Land Cruiser goes after a particular segment: income, a male, female, lifestyle. Do you see? So they go after those people.
Even
You know, they choose the Yaris for this another group. Go ahead, Samit.
It's like what telecom companies do
Yeah, in telecom.
when they target women or females.
Yeah, they have Bilqis. Bilqis is for females. So basically, they take their customers and they segment, and they say, we've got females, and those females, they do a lot of talking, and they need it to in big brackets. We've got the business people. They need a lot of talking to a small number of people, and they're all short. And we've got those students where, they do a lot of messaging and they need internet. You see? So they make 3 different packages. One package is more for the females, and it's got this, you can talk a long time and it's cheap. And I've got this other package for the business people that says, only those 5 people you can call them for free, any number of minutes. And then they've got this other package for the student that says you get unlimited WhatsApp and unlimited SMSs, because that's the lifestyle for them, you see. So that's the idea of segmentation, is that you take the market, you divide it into groups, and then you go.
It has to do maybe with quality. So maybe all Chinese products, the worst Chinese products come to Yemen because for them this market segment is like people have.
Yeah,
higher
sometimes,
needs, they have
you want the
money.
cheap. You want, for example, people who've got low income maybe, then let's give them the least amount of possible product. This way it can be cheap, you see. So, all right. And then we've got this idea of value and satisfaction. You guys know what is value?
Yes.
Do you remember something that you bought and you spent on it money and you got really big value?
Of course.
What was it?
Solar system.
Solar system. You see, you buy a solar system and you get this much value. You just can't be satisfied enough, right? So this idea. Now maybe you think I should change this lady instead of those bags. I put someone with a solar system and a battery and a small. Let's see, core marketing concepts. You guys understand what's a supply chain?
Yes.
Anyone doesn't know what's a supply chain? The supply chain is, you guys remember the oil company? They start to dig and they get the oil, and then in the gas station you get oil to your car. From that moment until that moment, there is a full supply chain, right? From making it, producing it, refining it, all the way to delivering it to the end consumer. Do you remember that Pepsi can? It used to be water and a cola. And they make it from the mountains of France to the manufacturer to be delivered, to come to the supermarket, so you go and you buy it. You see, everything there is a supply chain. And marketing channels is all of those channels. For example, if you buy a medication, where do you buy it from? Do you go to the company that made it, or you go to a retailer, which is a pharmacy, right? So a pharmacy is a channel. And the marketing environment is everyone inside the market that can affect you. And the competition, you guys know what's a competition?
Yes.
Competition, those people who sell the same product. That if they sell that, they will not. Okay.
Large market share.
You guys know market share is what is your percentage of all of the sales. So if this market, let's say, sell 1,000 units, and you sell from this 1,000 total, you have 100, then you have 10% market share. Okay. Major societal forces. Do you guys know what we mean by societal forces? There are things in the society that force businesses. If we take an example, let's say, take a bank. Now, in the bank, globalization affects banks, right? You see, for example, nowadays banks, because of globalization, they have to have dollars. They open euro accounts. Banks, they have money transfer. Banks are tied with international finance. Banks are information technologies. Banks now, they have e-wallets. They have these mobile applications. People pay using their mobiles. Consumer information. People now in banks, they are affected by information about customers. They know you, who you are. They give you a credit cards. They give you a debit cards. They give you gold. They give you, I don't know. So depending on who you are, what you're good. You pay back. How much your salary? Do you have guarantors? Can they lend you? Do you want to? And then increased competition. The more competition you have, then you see. Transfer money from Saudi to Yemen free. And then the other banks, they're like, what's going on? And then here, all of these major societal will affect your company, will affect you, how you differentiate your goods, how you collect your information, and how you talk to your customers, depending on the competition. Did you guys just see Dr. Rada when he came in and he was telling you about, what we do, and it's under all of these major forces. Entire organization, marketing departments, CMO. Do you know who's the CMO? Chief Marketing Officer. Do we stop now? All right. So let's stop here and continue after the break.